so sick of it. Run up in your crib just for the sake of sticking it. Yeah, I'm ridiculous. I know this is Kanye's track, but I'm kissing this. Still laughing at these cats like I'm ticklish. Just something about that shit, I like flipping it. The world's back on my dick, I'm Mike Vickin' it. Cock back squeeze, only right
what
that
is
you
up, guys?
on.
Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. We're talking about just a great fragrance today from the house of Amouage. When I started doing my reviews in January, there was some scents that I looked at as sort of the canon scents for reviewers. Black Afghano, Aventus, something from By Killian, Tobacco Vanille, Dior Homme, something else from Creed like Aventus, one of the Angel Men flankers, 1 million, and Jubilation XXV. And slowly but surely I'm getting there. I like reviewing scents that haven't been covered as much, but I also think it's important to give my spin on community favorites. And this is an absolute favorite of the community and myself. This is the scent that put Amouage on the radar for me, and the first Amouage sample that I ever purchased from Lucky Scent. And I really liked it when I smelled it. But surprisingly, it wasn't the first Amouage scent that I purchased. Seal Man had the honor, and I remember after sniffing that one, I thought every Amouage scent was going to be amazing, but it just didn't work out that way for me, at least. I do the sample shopping episodes, which are sponsored by Decant Shop, and slowly but surely I'm working my way through this line. Not the Opus releases yet, but the regular Amouage releases, and I've had my nose on most of them, and when they do something right, they do it very well. But for me, at least, I think it's been more disappointing than discovery of good fragrances within the line. Now, if you do want Amouage info, check out my review of Seal, but the short of it is that they're an Oman-based fragrance house that gets most of their inspiration from traditional Middle Eastern ingredients like oud, musk, rose, spice, and frankincense, which is pretty much the house's signature weapon. The same way that Creed fragrances have that ambergris that gives the sense of je ne sais quoi umami quality, so do the Amouage scents that use frankincense. They have a richness and depth that is really unparalleled. Even if I don't like their scents, I have to laud their quality, and with Jubilation XXV, it does have this frankincense in it. In fact, as fellow star reviewer Katie Puckrick stated, it has a treasure trove of ingredients pretty much straight out of the Bible. Well, what does she mean by that? Let's take a look at the notes. At the top, we've got labdanum, coriander, and orange, Divana, frankincense, and blackberry. In the middle, we've got honey, bay, cinnamon, orchid, rose, clove, celery seeds, and gaiac wood. And in the base, we've got patchouli, apopanax, myrrh, atlas, cedarwood, musk, moss, ambergris, oud wood, and immortelle. Now, in the past, I've accused Amouage fragrances of having these lists of huge notes and then smelling sort of simple and not as complex as you'd believe. But that's not the case with this one. More on that in a minute. Before we talk about the scent, let's talk about the pricing. Retail-wise, 50 ml of this scent will run you $250, and 100 ml will run you $300. Not cheap, but there are some spots online that have it discounted. You can pick up 100 ml of this on FragranceNet right now for about $180, $160 if you go with a tester bottle, but they don't always have it in stock, and when they usually do, it sells out pretty quickly. I did get mine from FragranceNet. I had a $20 credit there as well, so this cost me about $160 brand new in the box, which is maybe the best deal I've ever gotten on a fragrance. I really thought about getting the 100 ml with the front discount at Min a while ago, but I'm glad I passed that up and waited until FragranceNet got it. This week I was planning to do a review of a Creed scent, but this got in the way, and when I saw that online price, I jumped, and I jumped with joy. I don't know how many times I'll wear this a year, but I know I'll wear it a few times and I'll get great wearings out of it. What I tend to do is wear the hell out of my fragrances for a few weeks and then sort of retire them for a while, which will probably happen here. The 100 ml might be a little bit too much juice, but we'll see. Now, as far as your presentation of this fragrance goes, it's sort of typical Amouage. You just have the typical Amouage bottle with not a great sprayer. It's just okay, and a cap that just isn't that heavy. So for fragrance this expensive, I feel like they could have done something a little bit better. The box is standard. It's a standard big heavy Amouage box with a felt-like insert, so you can sort of place your bottle in there if you want to display it. You do have to be careful because when you are taking the bottle out, because it opens like that, if you open it like this, the bottle could easily fall out and break. So you do want to be careful. Overall, it's not a bad presentation, but I'll get to more on that a little bit later. Now, the perfume in this project is a favorite of mine. It's Bertrand Duchel 4. If you're into niche fragrances, there's a good chance you either own a fragrance he's crafted or a fragrance from a brand that he's influenced, and this might be his best work. For me to sum up this fragrance, I would set this scene: Christmas Eve in the northeast, the combination between maybe going to church in the evening and getting wafts of the incense and fireplace in the air, going to your family gathering and having the Pantone on the table, the Italian dried fruit cake, maybe some folks are drinking spiced wine or blackberry brandy or hot toddies, the Christmas trees giving off natural wood aroma, and that whole sort of evening is sort of how I see Jubilation 25. This fragrance has the most recognizable blackberry note I've ever smelled. It's a little exaggerated, smells a little bit more like blackberry flavored brandy than an actual blackberry, but with the incense, it's gorgeous. And to me, that's what you get at the top of this fragrance: incense and dried fruit. And what's insane about this fragrance is as the dried fruit sort of dies down after a couple hours, the fragrance starts to move into its middle and base notes. You're going to get oud and you're going to get some rose. You go from this explosive fruity opening to a beautiful wood, floral, and middle base. It's like 2 or 3 different scents in a row, but all tied together by the frankincense and oud. The opening's got this beautiful boozy vibe, which not a lot of reviewers have picked up on. And I think that's because it smells a little bit like grappa, which is an Italian brandy basically made out of grape pomace, which is the skins and the parts you don't use for wine. And so I get a little bit of blackberry grappa vibe in this, like a fruit infused grappa at the top, or blackberry brandy. One of those is in the opening, and it's just beautiful, beautiful fruit and incense. And as it progresses, you start to get florals and wood and cinnamon and clove, and it gradually winds itself down to just a beautiful high-end oud and incense scent. And those are the 2 backbones of the fragrance that hold the whole composition together for the length of the journey. The truth to me is that since 100 ml of this fragrance runs $300, it sort of means that no scent should ever command more. The quality of ingredients that you get here, along with the longevity, is pretty much unmatched. This is very special juice, and it's hard to imagine wearing something more special for important moments in your life. When I think of wearing high-end scents in the warmer months, I think of geranium pour monsieur and green Irish tweed, and when it's cold out, I think of fragrances like this. Richwood's a fragrance by Zuroff that goes for $645, and it's really good, I have to say. I've smelled it, I had a sample of it, but I don't know when you smell this if it's fair for them to price that at $645. I understand that there's high-end sandalwood in that, but this is a top-of-the-line ingredients in this fragrance, and it really comes through when you get your nose on it. I don't think there's many fragrances that are near Jubilation 25 when you're just talking quality. You know, maybe Tobacco Vanille, maybe Amber Narguilé, maybe Black Afghano. Those are a few, but this one's wonderful and different, and obviously that is just my opinion. Now, as I said, longevity and projection are both very good. I would say it lasts longer than it projects with me. After about 4 or 5 hours, it does become more of a skin scent, for which is fine. It's not going to work on every occasion. I could easily go on a 50 ml, but as I said, I jumped on this because of the great price I got it for. Don't think I'll be wearing it that much. It's a very formal scent, sort of for like dates or special occasions. But in colder weather, there isn't much more better than this. I really, really believe that. The scent was made to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Amouage House, and they honored the house beautifully. And they also completed a scent that a lot of other Amouage scents aspire to be. A lot of their scents feel like they don't achieve the goal of being rich and opulent and having Middle Eastern oud and incense in it. And this one hit the ball out of the park in regards to that. But it does have its negatives. I feel that they could have done a better job with the presentation, which reminds me of too many of their other fragrances. I think for a 25th anniversary fragrance, this should have had a box or bottle or both, like Memoir Man or Interlude Man, something a little different. This is very close to the presentation I have with Seal. The box is the same, the bottle's the same. This one's just highlighted in gold instead of silver. But I think when you're paying $300, you want something a little bit more special. It's very expensive and it's not the easiest scent to wear. So for me, that makes it not a great value. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't mind that and you want to spend a lot of money on fragrances, or you feel like you can pull this off as a signature scent, which I think is possible, then this isn't a bad value, you know? The scent is great. It's well done and so special that I do think it's worth it, but I can totally see if other people don't think it's worth it. For me, it's straight up an 8 out of 10. It takes a hit for presentation, and it takes a hit for versatility. Again, the price isn't good, but I think the price is fair. I'm going to investigate the Amouage Opus line because I'm pretty much done with the regular lineup once I get my nose on Silver, Beloved Man, and Interlude. I think the only other bottle I might get from Amouage is Reflection Man, but we'll see. Well, this house overall has left me a bit disappointed. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw this and Seal Man on my top 10 niche fragrance list for fragrances I bought in 2013, because I really do love both of those. But the bottom line is there's no other scent out there that smells like this. There's not an imitator. No one's really tried yet to do this dried fruit oud incense bomb. And because of that and its uniqueness, and because it has that really spicy holiday feel, it's a very special fragrance. It's one that really, in a lot of reviewers' mind, is sort of like a godsend scent. It's just that good. If you haven't at least gotten your nose on it, I would recommend going to Decant Shop and picking up a sample just to see if it's for you. It might not be for you. And again, it's very rich and it's very different. But it is something that I think is necessary for every collector's wardrobe, just because at your most special moments, when it's cold out there, you're going to want something like this, something in this category, and really there's nothing else out there. Amouage doesn't offer it, and no other line does as well. Because of that, it is a very, very special fragrance, and probably for me at least, one of the real pillars of my collection, and one of the crown jewels of it, and one that I hope to keep for a very long time and use for many years to come. Anyway, that is this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. Stay tuned next week for a grooming episode. We're going to be taking a look at a new shaving brand and a designer fragrance review for all the people that think I don't do enough designer frags. And then again, same schedule as always. We'll have 4 sample shopping episodes in December, and some heavy hitter fragrances should be coming up in January to be reviewed. Something by Killian, something by MaxMknow, something by Bond Number 9, and something by Creed. I think we're going to get all those in by the end of the year. And then in January, stay tuned for my best of 2013 list and a lot of other surprise content as well. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I am Maximilian, I must know, and we'll be back next week.
Money in the rubber band. If the cops don't blitz, then I'm lucky. I want the 8th floor, the Ritz like Nucky. Empire like AC from KC. Kitchen cook, step up in the spot. All the bitches.